Hey folks, Cody here. In this video, I'm talking about essential gear you're going to need if you're starting to flatpick bluegrass guitar this year. I went to school for bluegrass music at East Tennessee State University's Bluegrass and Old Time Country Music program. On this channel, I'm breaking it down for you nice and easy. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm trying to get more subscribers than Taylor Swift here in the next couple weeks, so make sure you follow and share this video. Because the goal here is to spread good bluegrass and country music to a wider audience. The first thing that you're going to need when you start this style of music is a guitar pick. Which pick you choose is highly subjective, but the thickness of that pick is less subjective when it comes to bluegrass music. As a general rule, you're going to want to choose a pick that's 1 millimeter in thickness or thicker. And the reason for that is it's really hard to get the tone that we're looking for in this style of music if you're using a thinner pick. So let me know in the comment section what you prefer. But for the longest time, I used this inexpensive Dunlop prime tone seen here. I have a tendency to lose pick, so it makes sense to me not to purchase high-end ones, such as the Blue Chip and the Tone Slab, which are two of the most preferred brands by bluegrass flat pickers. Now these sound great and will last a while, but they will run you anywhere from $30 to $45 just for one pick. Recently, I picked up this pick from a company called Wiegand. No, I am not sponsored or affiliated with them, but I'm very, very impressed by how easy my playing has become with this guitar pick. This one is triangle shape, which is one of several shapes you're going to find in the bluegrass realm. But I definitely recommend you just go out there and explore different options. If you've got friends that are pickers, ask to play their pick, see what feels right. But remember, 1 millimeter in thickness or thicker is the general guideline here. The second thing you're gonna wanna consider, and arguably the most important element of playing this style of music, is the guitar itself. Now, I'm holding in my hand the body style that's most popular that 99.9% of bluegrass pickers are gonna play. This is a dreadnought style guitar. It's characterized by this large body, which projects a lot of volume, which you need, and also it's absent of a cutaway. The most popular brand by far is going to be a Martin, but there's countless other quality brand names to choose from. I play a Recording King. I recommend these guitars to anybody getting started because a really nice, solid body guitar is gonna run you about the same price as a beginner model Martin. But I know this is highly subjective, so let me know in the comments what you guys think. What's less subjective is that most players are going to radar towards this dreadnought style body guitar. Number 3, and I'm gonna be honest here, this style of music is not the easiest style to learn. It can be very frustrating and daunting to new bluegrass players getting started. I definitely recommend you find a teacher or a program to help you get over this initial hump that causes so many players to just give up. Maybe you've downloaded a tab, you've went to play it, but it just doesn't sound right or make sense. I offer a beginner bluegrass guitar course if you are interested. It's 85 lessons and growing. I think we're closer to 90 by this point. And it's all geared to make learning this style very easy without overwhelming you. I think that's what so many online teachers get wrong, is they just forget that this is not easy to learn. So if you're interested, check the link in the description. There's on-screen tabs. I'm updating it over time, so it's like a purchase that keeps on giving. Unlike the subscription models, which require recurring payment and you never own the thing outright. So you're never too old or young to learn bluegrass guitar. You just have to break it down in a way that's easy. So if you're interested, check the link in the description. Next, let's talk about practice tools. I have behind me here a good old-fashioned metronome. I bought this for about 20 bucks off of Amazon. Spoiler alert, you can get a free one just by Googling metronome, or you can download one on the internet. The number one tool that I talk about often on this channel, which I think it would be ridiculous to not have if you are learning this style of music in 2025, is an app called Strum Machine. Again, I'm not affiliated or sponsored. It's a massive catalog of backing tracks for bluegrass, Celtic, and folk music, and it's designed to help you with every element of your playing. I've said in other videos, if this would have been around when I was in school, my playing would be so much better by now, I am positive. But this is the practice tool to grab. Timing plays a very crucial role. It's not the easiest to get right. And so when you practice, definitely use an app like Strum Machine, or at very least, grab a metronome. There's free versions out there to lock in that timing. I get asked a lot about strings. So this is another one of these elements that's going to be highly subjective. My preferred brand are elixirs. I like a coated string. So when you're shopping around for strings, you're gonna find some that generally run between like $5 and $10, and then some that run between say 15 and 25. Those more expensive ones are the coated strings seen here. I prefer these, this is subjective, because they last longer, and for me, the tone is a little bit more what I prefer, okay? They're covered in a substance, I'll put the information right here because I'll butcher the name. That basically makes them last longer. But the other style of strings are uncoated, and these are going to give you perhaps a more traditional feel, and they're going to sound a little bit more bright. In my bluegrass circles, we're sort of split 50-50 on if we preferred coated versus uncoated. For me, the big selling point are these just last a little bit longer. I think it's worth the money, but you can get uncoated strings like say 3 sets for the price of one of these. And so definitely recommend that you go out and explore your different options when it comes to which strings you're gonna put on your guitar. I generally lean towards a light or a custom light, but a lot of my friends will say they prefer a medium gauge string, okay? So let me know in the comments, put down what you prefer. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. Next, do not get caught going to a bluegrass jam, or really even devoting the time to learn an instrumental without a capo here. So capos are essential in this style of music because we use them to change keys and still be able to play these intricate licks that we're learning. All right? So you definitely need one, okay? My preferred brand is a Page capo. You can get them directly from me, but there are tons and tons of options available, okay? I like the Page because it will stow behind the headstock here. I have a bad habit of losing or misplacing capos, especially during a show. So this comes in handy. And most capos will fit any standard neck guitar. If you're unsure about which one will work with your guitar, go ask your local guitar shop. They should be able to point you in the right direction. And last but not least, this is not really a piece of equipment, but something that I would encourage everybody to do is to go out and explore bluegrass music. And that means to get away from just the Billy Strings, just the Molly Tuttle, just the Shadowgrass, all those guys. They're great players, but really if you're learning this style of music, there's so much history to immerse yourself in. There's so many different players that you can explore, and then you can find rabbit holes to learn about. I think this is a very rewarding style of music, and really to appreciate it at a deeper level, I definitely suggest going and learning a bit of the history. This is coming from a guy that went to school for it, but I do believe that it's a super important element. Folks, if you like this style of content, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video. We're trying to spread bluegrass music to a wider audience. Let me know in the comment section what you'd like to learn here, or just to say hey and say thanks for the video. So see you on the next one. Bye-bye.